I'm Jeanette Wing. I'm a professor of computer science and the department head at Carnegie Mellon University. And I used to have the position that Farnham has, AD for Size, at the National Science Foundation. And in that position, I also co-chaired NIDART along with George Strawn, and before that, Chris Greer, before that, Chuck Romine. And it's wonderful seeing so many familiar faces today and last night in the audience. It's wonderful being back in DC. So, I'm going to talk about how progress and U.S. leadership in networking and information technology have changed our lives. We have already heard about the importance of the ecosystem in the academia, industry, government ecosystem in making this nation a leader in networking and information technology research and development. Each sector fuels and is fueled by the other two. The fruits of this ecosystem, the people and the ideas, have had an enormous economic impact on our country. Certainly directly by producing new companies and thus new jobs and thus new wealth, but also indirectly and pervasively in all other professional and business sectors by enabling greater productivity, more efficient operation, and creating new outlets for Americans to be thinking of new innovations. But not only have these advances had enormous economic impact on our country, they have also had enormous societal impact. From the time we wake up in the morning to the time we go to sleep at night, in all activities of our daily routine, to what we do at work and what we do at play, we have come to rely on these advances in information technology. So let's see how. Let's go back about 20 years to 1991. In 1991, NIDART was created. In 1991, Sergey Brin was a freshman in college, Larry Page was still in high school, and Mark Zuckerberg was 6 years old. And the reason I mention these people, for the obvious reasons, is that technology doesn't come from the blue. Technology comes from people who have ideas and work hard to see them succeed. So now let's put our own lives back. Imagine your lives 20 years ago and compare your life 20 years ago to today. So let's start with waking up in the morning. So do you remember what you did 20 years ago when you woke up in the morning? You probably went to the bathroom and washed your face and brushed your teeth and so on. What did you do this morning? If you were like me, you read your email in bed. Simple things like turning on the lights. With motion sensing technology, we save money, effort, and energy. Similarly, in heating and cooling our homes, with programmable thermostats, we save energy, money, and effort. And the smart home of tomorrow will be instrumented with sensors and actuators that will interact with the smart grid of tomorrow. Cleaning the house. In 1991, the Dyson G-Force cyclonic vacuum cleaner was all the rage. Today, a robot that can vacuum wood floors, carpeting, and even pet hairs is all the rage. Remember those clunky headsets we used to use to make phone calls? Today, we have these sleek devices that do more than make phone calls. And when you make a phone call, you can see the person at the other end. Driving. These are pictures of a 1990 Cadillac. So these are more modern pictures of a car. But what's more interesting is, of course, what's under the hood. With programmable engine control units, automatic braking, automatic cruise control, automatic collision warning, and even automatic parking, a car today is just a network of computers. And a car tomorrow will drive itself. Even walking. We used to walk, look around, enjoy the sights. Now we walk and text at the same time. We used to read paper maps to find our way. With GPS and online maps, we hardly get lost anymore. We used to say, look it up. Now we say, Google it. A wealth of information is at our fingertips through search engines and digital resources like Wikipedia. And here is my example of computational thinking in daily life. So this is a buffet table, much like we might see at lunchtime. And with my computational thinking hat on, I'd ask the question, how can I make sure that everyone can get their food as quickly as possible? So those are just some of the examples of how advances in information technology have changed activities in our daily routine. Let's look to see how they've changed what we do for fun and for entertainment. Falling in love. Remember 20 years ago how romantic it was to fall in love? Well, today we go to online dating services to find our partner. We have replaced shelves overflowing with books, with e-books and e-readers. We've replaced towers of CDs with personal, portable music devices that can store thousands of songs that we download from the internet and purchase individually. And we can play music anytime, anywhere, and be doing anything. We've replaced VCRs and videotapes with video streaming and access to thousands of movies without getting off the living room couch. Remember how we used to go to the mall? And we would be loaded down with shopping bags? Well, now we shop online. This is a picture of the 1991 Super Bowl. And just a couple weeks ago, while watching the Super Bowl through live video stream on our smartphones, we could also follow Twitter feeds and blogs and participate in crowdsourced ad competitions. Kids today, to visit Grandma and Grandpa, can just use free internet video chat through services like Skype from the comfort of their family room. And visiting Grandma and Grandpa today, don't be surprised if you see robots in their home. And these robots will be monitoring their health, safety, and well-being. Well, some things don't change. However, before we start scolding our children for reading books under the cover, think of your own self lying in bed with your laptop or your iPad or your Kindle Fire propped on your tummy, watching TV or movies. So those are just a few ways in which our lives have changed in our daily routine and at play. But let's just look at a few sectors in which how our advances in information technology have changed what we do at work. So let's consider healthcare. Advances in devices and networks and analytics are helping us to realize that a healthcare system that will be more cost-effective, safer, and more efficient. Mobile phone technology enables farmers, especially in underdeveloped regions and countries, to determine crop volumes, market prices, transportation costs, weather forecasts, to increase productivity and to raise the standard of living. Wireless sensor nets are helping us monitor the structures we build, from airplanes to buildings to bridges. The explosion of online learning services means that millions of people around the world can get affordable access to instruction delivered by the very best in the field. Even in math and science, this is a picture of 1993 of Andrew Wiles presenting a proof of Fermat's Last Theorem. Of course, he built on the work of others, but he worked in isolation. Today, through wikis and blogs, mathematicians can work together and prove theorems and dispute claims much more expeditiously. In 1990, the Human Genome Project started. Today, you can get your DNA genotype for $99. 20 years ago, we were able to predict the coarse-grained structural features of a target protein. Gamers playing Foldit were able to solve the structure of a retrovirus enzyme in 3 weeks, a problem that had stumped biologists for over a decade. In short, information technology impacts our daily lives and every sector of society. 20 years ago, Chrome, Firefox, and Internet Explorer didn't exist. Amazon, Facebook, Google, Netflix, Skype, Twitter, and YouTube didn't exist. The Android phone, the BlackBerry, iPods, iPhones, iPads, and the Kindle didn't exist. In fact, many of these didn't exist even 10 years ago. Imagine your life without them. Advances and U.S. leadership in information technology have changed our lives over the past 20 years. Imagine what life will be like in another 20 years. Today, you will get a peek at the future. Thank you very much.